Hey Airdrie, here's your real estate market update for Airdrie for November 2023. My name is Brad Walker. I'm a local realtor here in Airdrie with Redline and Real Broker. And if you want to see what's changing in our market right now, watch this video and be sure to reach out with any questions that you have, whether you're planning to make a move or not. I just want to be here to help you as a homeowner or a home buyer in our city. Now, there were some things that surprised me in the numbers this month and some trends that are continuing on into the winter. We're going to go through a few different topics in this video. We're going to talk about the general market stats first, and then we'll move into some pricing stats for the different housing styles, followed by market trends in the different price ranges, and then we'll wrap it all up with a little bit of discussion around the trends that I'm seeing happening and what I'm expecting to see for the remainder of 2023 and into 2024. So let's start first with our general Airdrie stats. Here on this graphic, you can see that we had 126 sales in October. That's down from 143 that we saw in September. Now, generally, we see sales between September and October stay a bit more even than this, but a 10% drop in the sales month to month isn't unfathomable. I'd say that it's just slightly steeper drop than we're used to seeing between these 2 months. Now, looking at new listings, where we saw 168 new homes for sale within October, this is about a 15% decline in new listings from the previous month, but this is basically right in line with what we usually see just with the seasonality of moving into the colder months from September to October. Fewer people are wanting to put their homes up for sale. And with those sales and new listings, that gave us an inventory in Airdrie of 211 properties to start November with. Now, that is the highest inventory that we've seen all year, but it's still significantly lower than our 10-year average of 350 listings at this time of year. So we are still looking at under 2 months supply at 1.67 months of inventory right now, which puts us in a seller's market, although not as extreme as many months that we've seen in the last 2 years where we were under 1 month of supply here in Airdrie. Now, the average days on market does continue to trend up, now at 27 days being the average on market, which is still fairly quick, but not nearly as fast paced as the lowest we saw that last year at an average of just 13 days on market. So that gives you just a general feel of our market, still very much in a seller's market, but seeing some cooling off moving into the winter. So knowing that, let's move into the pricing stats of the different styles of houses here in Airdrie. And starting first with our detached homes, which currently make up for about 50% of our sales here in the city. Our benchmark price for detached houses is up again this month by 0.75% over last month, now at a benchmark price of $610,400. Now, this is one of those numbers that did surprise me a little bit. I was expecting the detached price to go up again this month, but I wasn't expecting it to go up by 0.75%. I was expecting more of a 0.3, 0.4% increase on those detached homes. But at the same time that the price is increasing more than expected, the average sale price to list price ratio is going down. This month, on average, detached homes were selling for 1.6% lower than their list price. And this is the lowest we've seen that list price to sale price ratio in about 2.5 years. So that's something that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on in the coming months here to see what that sale price to list price ratio on the detached homes continues to do. Now, moving on to the semi-detached homes or duplexes, here we saw a price increase as well, but more in line with the expectations. Benchmark price for semi-detached in our city increased by 0.37% up to $476,000. And here, the sale to list price ratio is holding much stronger at an average sale price of 0.3% above the list price. Now, moving on to townhouses next, which make up about a quarter of our sales here in Airdrie, which makes this style the second biggest housing style here in the city. We saw prices go up here 0.6% compared to last month, now at a benchmark price of $354,400. And we are still seeing strong sale prices and quite a bit of competition amongst buyers within this style, with the average sale being 0.9% above the list price. Which brings us now to our final housing style here in Airdrie, which is our apartment style condos. And this style has been the top performer in our market all year, and this month is no exception. Our benchmark price for apartments is up 2.6% in just the last month, now at a benchmark price of $265,000. So condos are clearly the style that's outperforming the rest right now, and it looks like that's going to continue at least for the rest of this year. And now we're going to move on to the market stats in the different price ranges, because when we narrow down your specific situation to your specific property, the market conditions can range a lot. So it's important to know what the market's like in your price range. So starting off with our $0 to $300,000 price point, in this range we had 21 sales in October, and we currently have an inventory of just 18 homes. So you can see why the condo prices are increasing as fast as they are, because most of them are right in this range. These stats put us below 1 month of supply and right into an extreme seller's market. So in these kind of conditions, prices are going to continue moving up fairly aggressively until either demand fades or we get more supply. And moving on to the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, here we had 51 sales last month, and we currently have just 39 listings for sale. So again, this is less than 1 month supply and puts the $300,000 to $500,000 range in an extreme seller's market as well. So if we pause here for a minute and look at the numbers after our first two price ranges, we've already accounted for 72 of October's sales and 57 active listings, meaning anything above 500,000 will have only seen a total of 54 sales, but we still need to account for about 150 active listings. So let's keep going through the price ranges and see where things drop off. So moving on to the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, here we had 40 sales in October, and we currently have 94 active listings, which means we're sitting at about 2.5 months supply in this range, which puts it in more of a balanced market and not as much of a seller's market anymore. And at 94 listings, we know that nearly half of Airdrie's current listings end up right within this $500,000 to $700,000 range. So moving on to the $700,000 to $900,000 range now, we saw 12 sales within October, and we currently have 47 active listings, which means the $700,000 to $900,000 range is sitting just under 4 months supply, which puts this price range in a balanced market still technically, but getting very close to a buyer's market. And lastly, we'll look at anything in Airdrie over $900,000. In this higher range, we saw 3 sales within October, but we currently have 22 active listings. So this means that we have over 7 months of supply over $900,000 here in Airdrie. So this range is definitely in a buyer's market. So if you're a buyer or a seller in this range, just make sure to adjust your expectations accordingly. All right, so after all that, where are we gonna go from here? Well, I think things will slow down here in the last 2 months of the year. We continue to see these subtle hints of this in some of the stats each month, but at this point, prices are still increasing regardless of those hints that we're seeing. Now, I don't think we're gonna see prices go down, but I am expecting to see the increases slow down a bit in the next couple months. And one of the reasons I think that is this year, more than others, it seems that people are waiting until the new year to commit to a purchase, especially those buyers from Ontario making the move to Alberta. So I think we're going to see a very early spring market in 2024, with things starting to pick up as early as mid to late January and definitely into February, moving into that spring market. So what does this mean for you as a buyer or a seller looking at or in our market here in Airdrie right now? Well, as a buyer, it means that you may have 2 to 3 months here where there might be a bit less competition. You might be able to secure that purchase with a little bit less pressure to offer above list price and actually be able to negotiate a bit with that seller. So if you're a buyer that's ready to go, I'd be wanting to secure something before the new year so I can try to avoid the spring market rush and be able to lock in your interest rate in case we see them go up anymore. Now, for you sellers on the other hand, if I don't have to sell my home right now, I'm probably going to hold off on this point. I'd rather wait until early in 2024 and take part in that spring market to try to maximize my sale price. But I wouldn't be looking to list in the typical March, April, May. I'd probably be looking to list more like February, because I think that spring market shift is going to be a bit earlier than usual, especially if we get any hints of interest rates stabilizing in January and February. Well, I hope this market update's been useful for you. Now, I do have neighborhood market reports for each specific neighborhood in Airdrie that I send out on a monthly basis by email. If you'd like to sign up for the report for your neighborhood, the link is below, and inside the report you'll be able to see the actual sale prices of the homes in your neighborhood that sold. So it can be a very valuable tool to you as a homeowner or a buyer to get an idea of the current market. And again, my name is Brad Walker. I'm a local Airdrie realtor with Redline and Real Broker. Please reach out anytime you have any questions or if you're looking to buy or sell, and we'll see you in the next video.